and then like it's like right, like, you know, but at the same time I don't know, because then sometimes it's like I like, you know, like you go and then
It's all go for Meghan right now. She just put this on Instagram. I just happened to be scrolling. She's releasing her new podcasts, Confessions of a Female Founder with Meghan. She writes, I'm so excited to share with you something else I've been working on, Confessions of a Female Founder, my new podcast with Lemonada Media. I've been having candid conversations with amazing women who have turned dreams into realities and scaled small ideas into massively successful businesses. They're opening up, sharing their tips, tricks and tumbles, and letting me pick their brains as I build out my own business, as ever. It's been absolutely eye-opening, inspiring and fun, because what's the point if we can't have some fun on this wild adventure? So that's out on April the 8th. And I like the fact that she's treating this phase of her life as an adventure, as it should be. She's obviously in a very privileged position where she can have failures, in a sense, because any failures that she does have just brings on so much negativity from the outside. But good for her. She's going for it, and I'm looking forward to hearing her podcast.
So I just put up a post about Hello Magazine doing a Royal Women special edition, and they failed to include Meghan Sussex. And I said, oh, well, I think Hello Magazine need to check their unconscious bias / racism. And I've had loads of people responding, well, she's not a working royal. Well, stop with the technicalities. Stop with excusing racism. It's not a good look. Support anti-racism. Just call it for what it is. Just for once. It's not going to harm you. Just say, one guy did, he put, actually, that is strange. Why have they done that? That's it. You don't need to keep excusing racism. It helps nobody in society. Nobody. Hello Magazine, if they're watching this, or they're probably not, I don't really care, but you've literally worn your racism like a badge of honour in that article. Meghan Markle is married.
Look, living here now for 5 years, it feels like home. Santa Barbara feels like home. Brought up both of our kids in Santa Barbara. I think left the UK when my son Archie was about 6 months old, and Lily, my daughter, was born here. What do I miss the most? Being British, maybe. I'm not going to say the weather, but I don't know. I think, look, there's lots of little bits and pieces that I miss. I guess the countryside is a big piece to that. And one of the reasons why we live in Santa Barbara, I'm not really a city person. I like to be out in space with a big sky above me. But no, you know what? Life takes extraordinary turns, and we are, as a family, we're so happy here. The US provides so much opportunity, and also a safe space for us, which has been great.
I noticed that whenever I do anything related to Meghan, it becomes like
big news.
Big news.
Oh, yeah.
Big news.
Yeah.
And selfishly,
But you guys
I'm
were
like,
just making cute little...
we were making sandwiches.
And,
then they'll push in on my face on TikTok, and they'll be like, look at how this emotion you felt. And I honestly didn't even remember it because we shot it like 9 months ago. I loved my time with Meghan. I'm also like, let her promote her show. I'm here to talk about running.
Yes, of course.
It was great, and it's really fascinating seeing how the reaction.
Spaghetti has caused quite a stir online, so we thought we'd have Clodagh put it to the test. Right?
I know.
But it has caused quite a stir this time.
It has caused quite a... Basically decided that I'm going to test this, not think that about the fact that it's Meghan's recipe. Yeah. I'm just going to test it as if it's a recipe that I'm bringing on this morning.
Sure.
On television, it should be a delicious pasta. An understanding about flavours.
I like all going well. The pasta's cooked brilliantly.
Yeah.
The spaghetti's fantastic.
Yeah.
When certain people say that Meghan Markle is not relatable, what they mean is she's not relatable to the image of us that they have in their heads. Because my mama and them Ben had exquisite china. Our grandmas had gardens in the back. They were the original farm to table. My mother puts up like 5 Christmas trees every year. She should do a class on how to tie bows. She's got more ribbon in her house than you'd ever find in the Hobby Lobby. Like, a lot of Black women are homemakers, and a lot of us have been on Martha Stewart before there was a Martha Stewart. The reality is that Meghan Markle does not fit the stereotypes that they think Black women should be, or could be. And you're seeing a lot of crash outs right now because, I mean, it could be jarring to figure out that you've been lied to your entire life. So for a lot of us, Meghan Markle is very relatable. And if she's not relatable to you, I mean, maybe you should do a little self-inventory, take a look around your house and figure out why.
Morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. And Amanda's back on it with her unique style of journalism. But to be honest, on this one, she might have a point. The royals are right to fear Meghan Markle's next money-making scheme. Well, anything Meghan does, touches or visits makes money. So let's take the money-making angle off the table. But I think Meghan would quite like to write a book about her experience in the non-working, taxpayer-funded royal family. And why wouldn't she? It was a significant chapter in her life, with a lot of unplanned twists and turns. Let's put it that way. And as we all know, recollections may vary. So wouldn't it be great to hear Meghan's side of the story and find out what these characters are really, really like? I think, Meghan, you're not watching this, I know. If you would like to write a book about your experience in the royal family, pre-royal family, during royal family, post-royal family, I think there's millions of people that would be delighted to buy it. Have a brilliant Wednesday, guys. I fly to Spain tomorrow. So, Friday's TikTok will be, hopefully, in the sun. Comments are open, as ever. Let me know what you think. Morning, friends. Happy Thursday. I'm mega excited because I'm flying to Spain this afternoon. Please pray for some sunshine for me. But I'm not quite as excited as William was on Tuesday when he went to see his beloved Aston Villa. Did you see what I did there with that nice little segue? There's been a lot of conversation on TikTok and more serious traditional media channels about William's appearance over the last 12 months. And I don't think anybody wants to be cruel, but there has been a noticeable change in his appearance. And some commentators have said it could be due to an alcohol issue. It could be due to other prescription, you know what I'm saying, issues. It could be due to non-description pill issues. We just don't know. We all get excited when we watch football. I am a massive Liverpool fan. I get excited. I just think William's behaviour here is really unusual. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to be unkind. I think the screenshot says it all. It's unusual behaviour for anyone, never mind the future King of England. I'll post the still from the airport. Have a brilliant day. As ever, comments are open. Let me know what you think. Morning, friends. Happy Monday. I'm sure, like me, you're back to work today and you're wondering, how did that weekend go so quickly? I do not know the answer to that, but I do know that Meghan continues to share the joy on Instagram by sharing fan reels. And this is a brilliant example where a family are attempting to recreate Meghan's magic, all getting involved, even the youngest one, and the results look incredible. When I saw Meghan's Instagram profile this morning, she shared 5 or 6 of this type of thing from all over the world. Some of them were easier to screenshot than others. This was an easy one. I had more time to get it, so I chose this view and this family. It's brilliant that people are getting involved. Pivotal media, right? It's not a broadcast out from Meghan. It's a conversation. She's showing you how she does things. People are encouraged to get involved at home, and it's brilliant. Spring is coming to the UK. It was actually warm yesterday. Lots more time and lighter nights for families to do things inside and outside. Brilliant. Well done, Meghan. Well done, everybody getting involved, trying to do it for yourself. As ever, comments are open. Have a brilliant Monday. Let me know what you think.
Understand that you don't like Meghan Markle. You've made it so clear a number of times on this programme, a number of times. And I understand that you've got a personal relationship with Meghan Markle, or had one, and she cut you off. She's entitled to cut you off if she wants to. Has she said anything about you since she cut you off? I don't think she has, but yet you continue to trash her.
OK, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
Do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can trash me, mate, but not my own
No.
See you later.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't do this.
This is absolutely diabolical behaviour. I'm sorry, but Piers spouts off on a regular basis, and we all have to sit there and listen.
I read somewhere that there were members of the royal household that were confused and upset that she woke up so early at 5 a.m. She's a normal Californian girl, gets up early and does yoga and meditates, and also sent a lot of text messages. I mean, what did they expect, that she was going to send messages via pigeon? So I think she's amazing, and the royal wedding had the whole world watching, and I think that her choice was brilliant. It was sophisticated, it was chic, it was grown up, it was an English designer, albeit one that was working for a French house, which in a way was a message to the world. Yes, I'm from somewhere else, but I belong. I thought she looked fantastic. The fact that she chose to walk down the aisle by herself, I also thought spoke for an independent woman. I think the picture of the Duchess of Sussex mother at the chapel at the wedding was so inspiring to so many women, men all over the world.
So I'm going to say something quite controversial here. Has anyone watched the Netflix show With Love, Meghan, the series about Meghan Markle in her home? When I say I'm obsessed, like I am obsessed. Like, it's totally changed my perspective of her. I love her whole aesthetic, her whole vibe, everything she's making, bougie on a budget. I say budget. Her budget is different to my budget. But I'm literally obsessed. I'm literally away to the shop now to go buy some Le Creuset, get some new wooden serving boards, grow my own edible flowers, and rest assured, if you're coming to my house, you're getting flowers in your ice cube. But yeah, I'm honestly obsessed. Has anyone else watched it and has the same opinion? Because honestly, obsessed.
I love the fact that we are all in agreement that Meghan Sussex, formerly known as Meghan Markle, needs to have a Christmas special. Netflix, if you somehow find this video, if you somehow stumble upon this, give us With Love Meghan Christmas edition. We would eat that up, right? The girlies who love Christmas, the girlies whose personal Super Bowl is Christmas, would eat that up. She does not record at her home. She records on a different location. So put her at a completely different location for the Christmas special, right? Have her at a lodge. Have her decorate the lodge with snow in the background. We would eat that up. I'm telling you, the girlies would eat it up, okay? Have her whip up some Christmas drinks with her friends. Have her make some Christmas desserts. The potential is there. If I was greedy, I would also say that she should also do a Thanksgiving special, but I will settle for a Christmas special.
Y'all will never convince me to hate Meghan Markle, because y'all love to take the most Nepo babies of Nepo babies, elevate them to superstardom, buy up every single product they sell, eat up every single thing that they say. But if a woman who actually comes from a modest background, who is intelligent, who's poised, who's had to work very hard for every single thing she's achieved in life, attains what seems unattainable, then all of a sudden it's, oh, she's unrelatable and she's inauthentic and how dare she. Meghan Markle does not need to be relatable. As a Black woman, Meghan Markle can be aspirational and she can be unattainable, just like the other people that have achieved stardom in this space that she's in. She can be aspirational and unattainable. She doesn't need to fit into whatever narrow little box of how Black women should act or what they can achieve that has been created for her. She can be outside that box.
We would like for you to join us on this garden tea party inspired by the Netflix show With Love, Meghan. This is how it started. I was on my treadmill taking a hot mom walk and watching With Love, Meghan and got inspired. After getting dressed, I looked around the house to see what I had that was similar to the show. For the sandwiches, I needed to make some homemade baguettes. My little helpers were there to stir and measure. We let the yeast mixture rise while we put together the dry ingredients. Then we combined everything together and kneaded the dough. Once the kneading was complete, I separated the dough into 4 pieces and placed onto a baguette pan. Popped it in the oven with a little bit of water for steam. They came out perfectly. Then it was time to get started on my scone. It was flour, butter, sugar, salt, and baking powder. Then I combined it all together to a crumb-like consistency. Now add eggs. Oops, I got a little shell in there. Half and half, and combine the wet and dry ingredients. I kneaded and added blueberries on top. Then I placed it in the oven. Fortunately, I baked a whole loaf of bread yesterday, so I used that to make my sandwiches. We cut up the baguettes and began to assemble our little ladybug or ladybird sandwiches. Of course, we couldn't forget the rainbow fruit board. Once the scones were out of the oven and the tea was piping hot, we were ready to assemble our table. A kid's table, of course. And if you watch the show, then you know this little bee detail is perfect. We had the best Sunday afternoon.
Yes, you heard that right. Markle month. And I found my old Markle month document. So the last time I opened this was apparently February 2019. So you can't see it at the top, but this is so detailed and so... I don't know what the single white female equivalent is of single light skin female, but... This is the thing. So I knew that from many interviews, I knew that she ate plant-based during the week. So that's that first piece you see up there. This was like her go-to smoothie that I followed. Also, you can't see it at the top, but Shira Lincheski, now Shira Barlow, has a book called The Food Therapist, and she was Meghan's nutritionist. So I adhered to the rules of that book. This was kind of some of the wellness stuff. Again, you guys are seeing this and being like, what in the stalker is happening? So I meditated for 2 times a day for 20 minutes. She followed Transcendental Meditation. I used the Headspace app. Megaformer Pilates. I had F45 because that was the closest thing to me at the time in Harlem, but boot camp classes in general, I think now that I live in LA, I'd probably just go to Barry's. Running, obviously, yoga is a part of this. Now I would, instead of obviously doing JV Model Fitness, if you know, you know, instead I would do Ashley Eckhoff's ab workouts. I would do some Tracy Anderson videos as like exercise snacks. So she had these like little short workouts. Posture is key. Here were some of the wellness pieces right here: acupuncture, cupping, infrared sauna. Again, this is like 2019. These were some of the makeup products I knew that she loved. Looking at this now, I'm like, unwell person. I knew that she did this like really crazy facial massage things too. Oh, there was like the buckle internal face massage. Like I said, this is a whole thing. I adhered to this. Like I said, Markle month was a vibe for me for years. The list grew, and again, the last time I did this was 2019. Maybe I should bring this back. Maybe Markle month should be a content series, because maybe now it's like Sussex spring instead. Who knows? Let me know if this is something you want to see in practice.
Meghan Markle's life literally does not affect you in any way. So if you hate Meghan, you need to take a hard look at yourself and ask why. Is it because she ruined your high school fantasy of marrying a prince who never knew you existed? Or is it that the world has taught you that black girls are worthless and seeing Meghan being loved so fiercely makes you angry? Harry would rather be her husband than your prince, and it makes you sick. Meghan Markle is smart and classy and brave, and she's a better princess than we deserve. And if you're mad at her, if you think you deserve a better princess than her, that's the definition of uppity.
Unfortunately, every single story was complete lies, which it rarely, well, which it always is, basically.
which is a shame. But you know, it's something I'd love to do, and you know, now I've had the chance once, I suppose I've got quite into it. And at the end of the day, if you join the army, you expect to go on operations. I don't want to sit around at Windsor because I just generally don't like England that much, and you know, it's nice to be away from all the press and the papers and the general shite that they write.
It's too risky for you to go back as a soldier.
More the fact that I think the media had said that they would never keep their mouths shut if I went and did the same job, so I'd have to do something different if I wanted to go, yes.
With the media following his every moment, Harry can't hide his irritation.
Harry, you enjoying getting stuck in?
Not really with you guys.
Tour of Afghanistan, Harry's exasperation, even loathing of the press, has shone through loud and clear.
My father always says don't read it. Everyone says don't read it because it's always rubbish. I'm surprised how many people in the UK actually read it. I mean, everyone's guilty for buying the newspapers, I guess, but hopefully no one actually believes what they read, which I certainly don't. But yeah, of course I read it. If there's a story and something's being written about me, I want to know what's being said. But all it does is just upset me and anger me that people can get away with writing the stuff they do, not just about me, about everything and everybody.
And that mistrust of the press, I mean, how far back does that go? Is that something that's to the...
I think it's fairly obvious how far back it goes, to when I was very small.
In some royal breaking news this evening, the wife of the brother of the husband of the sister of the Princess of Wales, no, I know, just bear with me on this, has spoken out about Meghan Markle's Netflix show. Don't ask. Vogue Williams expressed her concerns that a fruit platter that Meghan prepared for the children when all she can rustle up for her kids is Rice Krispies and Cheerios in the same bowl. Desperate attempt to stay relevant, the ex-wife of Brian McFadden and failed reality TV star also shared her disgust at people that wear jumpers over their shoulders. She's also confused about how everything on the show is perfect. It's called a TV show, hun. Had you have not flopped on the television, you would know what it's all about. Kate, love, if you want to slag Meghan off, just do it yourself. Don't get your second cousin's twice-removed dog to do it. So, Catherine, are you jealous that Meghan's better at Photoshop than you are? We haven't forgotten, love. What's the main takeaways from this story? Meghan's still getting a series 2. Vogue, who are you? And Catherine, how low can you go? More on this at 10.
You know, for all the hate that everyone's giving Meghan Markle, I don't think there's that many haters out there. You know why? Because I tried to order a Branzino, and I cannot find one, which means everyone out there is buying Branzino fish too, salt baked. So, go Meghan, go. I love it. I love her. Spreading love and positivity. It's magical.
I think Meghan Markle is changing my life right now. So I'm stuck at home because my ankle got twisted yesterday and I can't walk. Like, literally, it's so bad. Do you think it's broken? I'm not sure. I'm laying here Netflixing it up and I see a show on Netflix called With Love Meghan, and it's Meghan Markle's new show, and it's like Martha Stewart for our generation. It is so beautiful, and she's like learning how to do beekeeping, and she's making pasta and this beautiful cake and making candles from the beeswax from the beekeeping and all this stuff. And I'm like, she's changing my life. She made me decide that this is the kind of person I want to be. My new idol is Meghan Markle. Thank you, Meghan. You are beautiful.
These two give off the exact same energy, Helen from Bridesmaids and Megan Sussex. And I'm obsessed with it. Like, I mean this with the most love and light. Everything that Meghan says, I'm just like, you do. And I love it. I want more of it. Like, we should not try to really relate to Meghan. You know, she's a princess that lives in Montecito. I am watching for the fluff. Like, it's amazing. I love women like this. I just want to watch more of it. Keep going, Meghan.
Finally getting around to my review of With Love Meghan because I just finished the show. First order of business is this woman looked impeccable every single episode in every single frame. She knows how to work the camera. She understands her angles. The editing was done very well. I don't have any notes. The choice of music, phenomenal. To find songs that coincide with the episode or whatever she is doing at the time. And a majority of these songs are widely known, at least to the American audience. Great taste in music. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty. I would consider this a comfort show. It's something I would put on like a Saturday or Sunday morning, enjoying a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and I just want to relax, decompress. It's almost like ASMR for me. And content-wise, I resonate with it because I myself live a soft life. I don't know about you all. And even when I did not live a soft life, I aspired to one day live one. And so that's why I say, if it's not who you are now, it could be who you are later. I have seen both sides of the fence and their arguments. And frankly speaking, I don't know who does not want to live a soft life. Her choice of guests between friends and people she's never met. It's always good when you have celebrities highlighting small businesses or people that may not be known to a wider audience. And that's exactly what the Duchess of Sussex did in her show. One critique, it's not even a critique, it's something I noticed, where she seemed maybe a little bit nervous. And I can understand that because we already know the world is going to pick her apart. But as she said in her show, this is not about perfection. No one should expect perfection because none of us are perfect. But that hair is perfect though. I am going to say, after the first episode, I threw out all of my bad for you food. I went grocery shopping. I got all sorts of vegetables. I even made a soup that day. I was and have been inspired to not only eat healthier, but make better choices when it comes to my food, just watching this show. Now, her crafting skills are amazing. It's not something I'm particularly into, but I enjoy watching other people do it. It's definitely a fresh take and entertaining. Prior to the show, I had never heard of Sun Tea, so that was something I found very interesting. And I enjoyed hearing personal tidbits about her life, like we didn't know her and her makeup artist Daniel went cake tasting for her wedding, or that her grandmother worked at an ice cream shop and that was her first job as well. Now, as soon as she pulled out that cast iron skillet, I said, oh, she knows what she's doing. Not to say that she didn't know what she was doing prior to that, but she definitely knows what she's doing. Meghan also had a lot of great taglines. Deconstructed and reinvented. My bacon brings all the boys to the yard. Now, my bacon may not bring all the boys to the yard. However, my caviar has been reputed for alluring all the lords to the court. My favorite, though, was Good Vibes for the Hive, and that was in episode 1. My favorite guest was in episode 8, Alice Waters. She's an American chef, restaurateur, activist, and author. She had such a grandmotherly feel that I found myself tearing up every time she spoke. As I was sitting on my couch watching the last episode, I found myself snapping shots of her walking down the steps in this absolutely gorgeous dress. The styling on this show was incredible. Whoever styled her on this show, that really needs to be her stylist in real life. Every single ensemble hit. No notes, no complaints. Season 2 has already been announced, which is wild. It was announced so quickly because normally with Netflix especially, it can take a long time, really. I'm curious to see who she will have as guests on season 2. I do anticipate possibly Serena Williams, maybe even an episode with Oprah or Tyler Perry, who's godfather to Princess Lilibet. All in all, it's a great watch. At least I enjoyed it. It's not for everybody because, again, paper plates and silver spoons don't mix. If I would share one takeaway from this show, live better. That would be it. And as always, comment your thoughts below. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah. Bye.
So just a very quick one because the last dish that we prepped yesterday is only ready today, and that was the Sun Tea. So all I did was strain it, and now for the all-important taste test. So my daughter's tea party is about to start, and we've been for a nice walk on the beach, and now we are ready to celebrate her birthday. And as we are sort of just going to have, we're going to have a light lunch because we're going out for dinner tonight. I did a little spread, which I'll show you. Well, just a little lunch, but taste test for With Love by Meghan Sussex from With Love Meghan. So let's give it a whirl. Beautiful. So mine had a mixture of different teas, hibiscus, and a couple of other things, something I found in the back of the drawer. I did sweeten it with some honey, but who doesn't love a lovely sip of iced tea? And we are going to enjoy ourselves sipping our iced tea, celebrating my daughter's birthday. Now I'll show you just the little boards that I've done for the little celebration. So we have our cake, and then we have a little cheese board. We also have a little bread board with some truffle butter, and I did a cheese fondue. And then just a little thing of charcuterie, and finally the all-important crudités. So it's another winning inspiration from Meghan Success Sussex, and I approve. Cheers! Happy Saturday! Lovely.
People that feel the same way I do. Look, we fucked up. White people fucked this election up big time. The black community, to the vast majority, understood the assignment, and white people, just like always, came in and fucked this thing sideways. And when you look at all the things that Donald Trump has been peeling back, it is extremely, extremely concerning what he has done in just a few short days. And I saw a few black creators on this app say, you know, it's up to the white people now. Like, white people are the ones who, we're not going to be affected by Donald Trump stuff. He's going to work to make our lives better at the expense of making everybody else's life worse. And I hope there are enough white people out there that feel like me that that is not acceptable. That is not acceptable. We have to say something. We have to do something. We have to use our voices in a positive way to combat Donald Trump and all.
And there's nothing conservative about an unelected South African Nepo baby firing people at the VA. And for our Republican neighbors now, all of a sudden they're like, I wanted my 401k to go down. I wanted this, you know. This idea that you would be okay. Can you imagine if President Barack Obama had brought his unelected African friend to cut? You know what I mean? How they think to cut the government. This is wrong. And your member of Congress is there to be your voice, is there to push back.
Yeah, so, you know, there's a lot of news or a lot of headlines out there right now, especially from the right, about how white South Africans are having their farmland stolen. I just wanted to know what your historical perspective is on that.
Well, when I was growing up in South Africa, the Group Area Act, and that affected all the races, coloreds, the Indian, the blacks, South Africans. We all used to live together in certain areas in Durban, Pietermaritzburg. I'm talking more Natal. KwaZulu-Natal, and then you would just have the government sending you a letter to say the Group Areas Act, and that whole area designated Cato Manor, Cato Ridge, people living a normal life, that those lands were taken away from you. Farmlands, Westville, they were taken away. Roosfontein, a letter that said eminent domain, the land is now taken away and you had to move. You had to leave your farms. They bought your houses at a price that they gave, established,
Right.
and you had to go into townships, Chatsworth, Newlands, Amlazi, Kwamashu. We were all sent into townships, and the land was given to whites, and they made it into gorgeous areas that they are living in now. And now it's a multiracial because of the new South Africa, but it's really 90%, 70% of the land. It's proof that 70% of the land is owned by 7% of the people who are white.
Yeah.
So I have no clue what are they talking about, but most of the gorgeous farms, all of Stellenbosch, most of Stellenbosch, all the wineries are owned by white South Africans. It's a beautiful country, and we all love it, but this thing about them now, us taking the land, Mandela offered people the land, they had to stay in, and lots of people, their lives were like 20 years, 30 years, or 40 years in a township. They couldn't go back to farming. They had no idea. The children didn't have an idea about farming. So some of them took the money, which was not as substantial as what the land ever would be. If you're looking 40 years of giving up your land, how much it's worth now. But please look up South Africa's Group Area Act, and you'll find out what a mess they made of that.
Wow.
Hey, good morning. You said not one person was stolen. They were sold by their own leaders. Don't race bait if you're gonna use disinformation. Well, Brock Childers 87, I can clearly see that your Alabaster, Alabama education has failed you. So come here real quick. Let's have a conversation. First and foremost, I'm gonna need you to stop lying. You are far too old for that. Stop it. Secondly, the lies you're telling were started by a racist cloister of Karens known as the United Daughters of Confederacy. Their job was to spread mis- and disinformation about slavery in the United States of America. They lied and rewrote history books, making sure that they favored the South and protected racists. You, racists, and many disinformed people say that nobody was stolen from Africa, while history says this. Sir Admiral John Hawkins hijacked a Portuguese slave ship and sold 300 Africans from it. And on his second trip, he captured 400 Africans. He didn't buy them, he didn't purchase them, and he didn't trade for them. He captured them. And when he finished, he wrote a book titled An Alliance to Raid for Slaves. And in this book, he tells the story of the very first Africans they captured, kidnapped, and stole. He writes in his book, I went myself, where we took 250 persons, men, women, and children. He said nothing about buying them, not purchasing them, not trading them. He said we took 250 people. And in total, there were 600 prisoners. And yet here you are just loud, proud, and wrong declaring that nobody was stolen. You then go on to say that they were sold by their own leaders, and that too is false. Africa has the highest form of genetic diversity on the planet. Before white people showed up, there was no, we are all Africans, we are all black. No, they were different ethnicities, much like you Europeans were. How you British were different from the Normans, who were different from the Irish, who were different from the Scots, who were different from the Celts, who were different from the French, who were different from the Germans, who were different from the Gauls. You see how that works? You see how different ethnicities work in Europe? It works the same way in Africa. It works the same way in Africa. And just like in Europe, white men were the ones who were fueling these conflicts between different ethnicities. So in warfare, when one kingdom conquers another, their prisoners of war were enslaved. These African kings didn't enslave their own people. They enslaved their enemies. You then go on to say, don't race bait if you're going to use disinformation. See, I don't think you understand what race baiting is, because if you did, you would know that your misinformation is intentionally encouraging racism or anger about issues relating to race. The lies that you and people like you tell prevent this nation from healing by stopping the truth from being told. You know people believe a lie faster than they believe the truth. I mean, you're a prime example, right? You then go on to say that they were promised land and a mule in 1865. And that's true. We were promised 40 acres and a mule. Did we get it? No. You want to know why? Because Andrew Johnson overturned the order in the fall of 1865. He gave all that land back to the racist, to the very people who declared war on the United States of America. You then go on to say that the first slaves to leave Africa to America was 1526, and that ain't true either. Because it was 1501 when Spain began trafficking enslaved Africans to the New World. You too old to be doing all that damn lying. It was 1526 when Spain landed in what would become the United States of America. Now, was I talking about Spain or Spanish colonies in that video? No, I was not. I was talking about Britain and British colonies around the world, specifically British colonial America. And I said that several times throughout the video, and at least twice within the first 10 seconds. And as stated in the video, it was August 20th, 1619, when Africans first landed in British colonial America. It's clear that your UDC education hasn't taught you that America started out as colonies of Spain, France, England, and the Dutch. Those are 4 separate countries that colonized indigenous land. And each one of those colonies had a different slave policy. So when you said they never promised them anything, you're partially correct, because Spain never promised their enslaved Africans anything. But Britain, however, Britain promised their indentured servants their freedom and land. And what was Point Comfort? It was a British colony. So am I saying that no Africans were ever bought and sold during the entirety of the transatlantic slave trade? No, that's stupid. We know that some were bought and sold. But for you to say that none were stolen, that is stupid. So why is that belief stupid? Because apologists for the African slave trade long argued that European traders did not enslave anyone. They simply purchased Africans who'd already been enslaved and otherwise would have been put to death. Thus, apologists like you, sir, claimed the slave trade actually saved lives. Such claims represent a gross distortion of the facts. Some independent slave merchants did, in fact, stage raids on unprotected African villages, as we have shown previously in the video, as well as kidnap and enslave Africans. And most professional slave traders, however, they set up bases along the West African coast where they could purchase slaves from Africans in exchange for firearms and other goods. But before the end of the 17th century, England, France, Denmark, Holland, and Portugal had all established slave trading posts on the West African coast. And why'd they do that? Because of a little thing called supply and demand. You see, Europeans wanted everything that came from Africa, from the soil to the people, to the water, to the mineral, everything that came from Africa, Europeans wanted it. And all Africans wanted in exchange were weapons so that they could defend themselves from their enemies. And with European help, many African kingdoms were able to defend themselves against their enemies, at the same time providing Europeans with slaves, with bodies, with human capital. So, the next time you decide to open your mouth on the internet, make sure your facts are straight, because you don't need my help making you look stupid. Now have the day you were meant to have.
Hello, my people, Lady Rose here. How y'all doing? Guys, I'm walking. You can't even believe I'm carrying like my computer and my little purse with me. And I'm actually walking in the neighborhood. Not in my real neighborhood, but really like a little bit far from my neighborhood. not too far from my auntie's home. So I took the bus, and they dropped me on the main road. And so right now I am walking to my auntie's home. I could have taken the bus like to the next station, but I just decided to get off here so I could get my daily walk in. So that's what I'm doing. I'm walking. Yep. And we said we're gonna get in shape in 2025. Isn't that what we saying? I tell you, I got me some free bottles of Ozempic. Yeah, they walk. That's like my free bottle of Ozempic. I don't buy no Ozempic. Like those are for the rich people. That's for those people in Hollywood. Yeah, I get free Ozempic. I walk. I walk like every day. Seriously, I walk at least 2 miles a day. Yes, I do. Right now here, I'm gonna start walking more because guess why? The weather's getting warm out here. Yes, it's getting warm. See how it looks like? This is in Colorado, guys. This is how Denver looks like for y'all who've never been here. Yeah, so I'm just walking, minding my business. It's my off day. I gotta go visit my family, and I thought that I should also make this video. Did y'all see the Duchess of Sussex came out with the Lemonada, guys? This podcast, I can't wait. This is gonna be great, like the archetype podcast that she had before. Remember that one? Yes. So these people, let them keep hating. Let them keep hating. The queen is doing great. Her business is out here. Y'all know the Duchess of Sussex stands for support for women. Yes, we women, we should support each other. It doesn't matter what color of skin you are still a woman like me. Anatomically, we are sisters. So stop your stupid racism out there and come out here and support me. Share my videos. And call your white sisters to come out here to support Meghan also, and support my channel also. We're all sisters. Stop that nonsense division. That division ain't doing us any favors. All right? Yes. So y'all did watch the Duke of Sussex. Yeah, Prince Harry came out. That guy was asking him a question. You know, my brother-in-law, he responded to that one. You know what he was about to tell him? He was about to tell them, my folks, that, well, y'all, can't you see that I'm looking way different than I used to look when I used to dress up in TK Maxx? Didn't you see that? Brother, what kind of question you asking? That place is like like a prison. Open sky prison. Those mansions, those palaces y'all talking about. And the more frog that y'all got me in there, in that UK, was a disgrace. I just happened to stay there with my wife, with my beautiful wife, with my child. I did not really want him to grow up there. I was praying to God for something to happen. And eventually the tabloids actually saved me. And they saved my beautiful wife and took us out of that prison. You know, those palaces were built on some people's blood. Yes, the people from the West Indies. Yes, her ancestors. So we do not want to stay in these houses because these houses got bad karma. God, please help us. And I'm not going to be carrying my clothing in those trash can suitcases no more. I'm doing actual good. So brother, stop asking me these questions. You better stop asking me these questions because these questions are stupid. That place was an open sky jail, open sky prison, and everything, any kind of movement I made around there. Even the swan came out of the whatever, the pound, to scream at me. It was kind of depressing, some kind of environment. Oh my goodness, God gave me this queen. God gave me Princess Meghan, and she took me out of there. I couldn't thank her more. That's exactly what my brother-in-law was saying in his heart. But because he did not want to hurt those people with low self-esteem, those CC boys, his brother, Pete, and his daddy, Charlie boy, that's why he said what he said there. But what he was really thinking about is everything that I told you here. Because guess what? I got telepathy with my brother-in-law. I love him so much. God bless him. Yeah. And, well, look at what I found. This is what happens when you're walking around. See? That's one of them Ruski standard. One of them Ruski standard, whatever they call that alcohol there. You all saw the bottle. Yeah, one of them Ruski standard. I wish I had that full whole bottle so I could send it to that PO box in Kissington Palace. Because did y'all hear what the Minister of Health said about Pete? He said Pete has some kind of like a bottle issues. Yeah, Pete got bottle issues. Pete is suffering. Did you see how Pete looks like? Dude, Pete needs Jesus. He needs Jesus. Pete needs Jesus. And Repeat needs Jesus. And girl, did y'all see Repeat? Did y'all see Repeat? Yeah, Repeat came out with that red stuff that she wore one day a long time ago, and she was praise her legs out to the wall. Y'all remember that video? When them Japanese royals came down there. Yeah, the thing that she wore, and praise her legs. Yeah, you know them legs people used to talk about on them yachts. Yeah, those Repeats wore that dress again, and she came out here popping. I did not want to push that video of hers out here. I didn't want to show it to nobody, because guess what? I don't care about what Repeat really does, because everything that she does, she copies it from the queen of people's heart, Princess Meghan. Success. Yep, I don't care about her. Screw her, stupid mama, screw everybody of hers, because I just hate that family so much. I just don't like those kind of fake people with the fakery and walk around with all the fakery in them. And then, guys, if it wasn't because of Meghan, I wouldn't be even mentioning her. I wouldn't be mentioning no damn Repeat, because guess what? I don't care about no Repeat. Yeah. So she came out on Commonwealth Day. So they still celebrating that Commonwealth Day. These people ain't got no shame. Remember what Charlie Boy said? He did not like black culture. He did not like black people. He did not like what black people stand for. And we're gonna see when Archie and Lilibet gonna grow up, what he gonna say about their grandmother and what he's gonna say to those kids. But I don't even believe he's gonna live that long to see those kids grow up. God, take him out of here. So these hello people, they had their list of royal wives, and they excluded Princess Meghan. We don't really care. Guess what? She's represented by Hollywood. Yeah, she's represented in Hollywood, and she lives in Hollywood, and she's from California, and guess what? She's popular, and we know her already. She's on multiple shows, and everybody knows the history, and she's married to the king's son, Harry Windsor. Yes, whether you want it or not, screw you. Don't put her there, because guess what? She was gonna beat all them ugly faces in that papers anyway, because you never seen such kind of beauty. Y'all be sitting down there. Papa Prince is looking for some tan on your body. Guess what? Yeah, that kid doesn't stay. She doesn't sit in the moon trying to lighten up, but y'all be sitting out in the sun because y'all want to darken up and look like her, and they ain't working. Yeah, he ain't working. He ain't working at all. You be sitting out here, sitting in the sun, trying to get that tan. Guess what? The queen got it free from her mama. Yes, she got it free from her DNA. I tell you, she doesn't need to do too much, but y'all need to work. Yeah, you never seen Princess Meghan trying to sit down there in the moon trying to lighten up. I never seen that. But guess what? That jealousy ain't gonna do it. But the good thing you did do, you did expose your racism. And guess what? Everybody's watching, the world is watching, and we don't really care. Meghan is popular. Meghan is a Hollywood baby. She is from Hollywood. She's the actress. She's a wonderful actress, and you know she can act. Yeah, she can act all your mama's act. How about that? So guys, I better probably focus on my walk, because guess what? I'm freezing. See how cold I am? Like I don't even know what I wore. I should have worn like some long jacket, but guess what? Your girl was not wearing nothing like that. So I'm kind of freezing, so I need to put this phone down so I can cover my chest, so I won't get me some so I won't get bronchitis. No, I don't. I'm not ready for no damn bronchitis. And my brother Baron, I saw you. You gave me a super thanks. I appreciate you very much, and thank you for showing up, your support for our Queen Meghan, and thank you for always standing up for a black queen. You know, lots of men of our race, they don't do that, but you are exceptional, brother. God bless you. So all of y'all guys, let's go to my brother Baron's channel and support the brother, share his video so we could get him that silver plate, okay? And also go to my Queen Elizabeth Banks, Isabella Banks. I always call her Elizabeth Banks, but I'm just gonna call her Lizzie Banks for a minute. Yeah, let's go to Isabella Banks' channel and also support this sister. Let's get her to 10,000 subscribers. All right, bye.